Hey, people, what is going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is up? I am back. I am here. And it's time to talk politics. The politics of it all. Hey, Yana. Hey, Quintessential. Hey, Raphael. I know y'all, listen, it's so much going on in my world and in my space, and I try as best I can to come before y'all, and so yeah. So I'm here today. Hey Bobo, hey Beyond Birds, hey everyone. So we're gonna talk today some politics. I'm going to purposely save our good news story for the end because we have so many things going on, so many sugar spikes that are happening. Oh, that it's like um yeah, yeah. Like I don't know where to go. Hey Tracy, you know what quintessential? Yes. Um that's a part. Well, I have two stories at the end, I should say, that I need to talk about at the end, but we'll save all at the end. Okay. Hey Monk Chip, hey Boo. What's up, y'all? But I just be so busy, y'all. Y'all have no idea. Like even me taking the time to come out for these couple hours um is just listen, I don't know. Hey Abby, what's going on? My vlogmas video is uploading as we speak, so when I'm done here you can go and watch the vlog. But anyway, what's up people? What is up? 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 I'm here live and in color, so we're gonna talk about some stuff. um yeah, so let's start. Hold on. I'm getting my sugar on Sunday because I definitely need it because I'm stressed out. My chair is broken. Oh no, your chair is broke. So that means you have one of the electronic ones, right? Raphael, I'm sorry to hear that. But you're going to get it fixed, right? Hopefully. Let me go ahead and spike out now. Let's yeah, just go ahead. And spike out now. Dear God. Mhm. When I tell you you're gonna need it today, because we got so many. We even spiking out on a lot of spikes happening on the Democratic Party. Mm. All right, y'all. One more good sugar spike because, like I'm telling y'all gonna spike out today. Don't say you were not warned. Do not say that you were not warned. All right. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. I see y'all. I see y'all. Mm. Sorry, y'all. I'm having to drink a lot. Um, my throat feel dry. My throat felt dry, so I had to you know, do that. All right, we're gonna get that monk chip. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Um, I'm gonna get comfortable in my chair here, which has this really nice, comfortable pillow on it, because small booties matter. My little small booty needs extra cushion down there on this good chair. So, in our first story, dear God, dear Lord, help us, Jesus. In our first story, God, we have to go to where's Jason when we need him? Jason, are you in the bushes, Jason? Somebody go to the mod squad and call for Jason. In the mod squad chat, go call for Jason, see where he's at. He might be asleep. It's kind of early there. It's like 7 something on the West Coast. So we're going to the great state of Arizona. Hey, Tabitha, what's up? Oh, you got the flu. Child, lay in that bed, drink plenty of liquids, stay warm. Um, so what just happened? Dear God, my computer is doing a lot. In the great state of Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation of another sugar spiking. So Tucson, this is in Tucson, Arizona. So Tucson police moves to terminate the officer who fatally shot a man in a wheelchair. Because that's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing now. Y'all saw we had the case of the guy who was paralyzed that they drug out of the goddamn car. We showed that video a couple weeks ago. The man told him, I can't move. You see, all of his things on his dashboard for him to drive without, being paralyzed. But they said that was a whole situation. So now we have more because y'all ain't done. So Tucson police on Tuesday moved to terminate an officer after he fatally shot a man in a motorized wheelchair who was accused of shoplifting and pulled a knife when confronted outside a Walmart, officials said. Video released by Tucson police showed Officer Ryan Remington several steps behind the man in the wheelchair, identified as 61-year-old Richard Lee Richards. The officer asked Richards to stop before firing 9 rounds, striking him in the back and side as the man headed into another store, according to police. An attorney for Officer Remington said the video released by police did not offer a complete picture of the events leading to Monday's shooting. Richards had been accused of stealing a toolbox from Walmart when an employee contacted an off-duty Tucson officer who was working as a special duty assignment at the store, according to a statement from Tucson Police Chief Chris Magnus. Remington, an officer for 4 years in Tucson, joined the Walmart employee in the parking lot and followed Richards while, quote, attempting to gain his cooperation, end quote, the police chief said in a statement. According to the employee, he caught up with Mr. Richards outside as he fled the store and asked to see the receipt for the toolbox. Instead of providing the receipt, Mr. Richards brandished a knife and said, "Here's your receipt." Magnus said that Remington wanted Richards to stop and to surrender his knife. Mr. Richards refused. Quote: Mr. Richards refused to comply and instead continued to head through the Walmart and Lowe's parking lot. Magnus said, quote, "I have a male suspect that just shoplifted, left in front of me. He pulled the knife on me," Remington radioed in. According to the Walmart employee, Mr. Richards said, "If you want me to put down the knife, you're going to have to shoot me." A second officer arrived on the scene and to assist Remington. Both officers were a short distance behind Richards when they warned him not to enter the store, the chief said. The video shows Richards beginning to enter the Lowe's when Remington tells him, "Do not go into the store, sir." Seconds later, the officer begins shooting Richards, who slumps over and falls out of the chair onto the ground. Remington fired 9 rounds, according to Chief Magnus. His quote, "His use of deadly force in this incident is a clear violation of department policy and directly contradicts multiple aspects of our use of force training," Chief Magnus said. Quote, "As a result, the department moved earlier today to terminate Officer Remington." I'ma just stop right there. Hey, official D Spot. Now, the man is in a wheelchair, okay? The man ain't even got a gun. The man has a knife. And the man's now, I'm not trying to make this comical. I'm really not. I'm not. That's not my goal. That's not what I'm here for. But the man pulled the knife on this police officer, said, "If you want me to give you the knife, you're gonna have to shoot me." We ain't even got to do all of that because you got a knife, and clearly I have guns. Clearly, I probably have a taser as well. Because even once, and my thing about it is, they're that afraid of this man in this wheelchair that's holding this knife that y'all stay that many feet behind him. Because let's be clear, the man is in a motorized wheelchair. He's not going that fast. Hey, Button Jessica, what's up, boo? So I'm really trying not to make fun of this, but I just can't help but laugh when the man says, "Show me your receipt." And the man says, "Here's your receipt." What a damn receipt. Here's your damn receipt. Somebody's knife. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, so where was the taser in all of this? Because clearly it wasn't like he was going, like, the man wasn't going to be able to hurt y'all, okay? I mean, if you felt that struggle, you could have pushed him down. Like, if you felt like, girl, you could have pushed him. Yeah. Here's my gun. Here's your receipt. Well, here's your receipt. Here's your, like, if you felt that, the man is in a wheelchair. Good morning, Cams. I'm trying to, okay, I'm serious. All right. That part made me laugh when the man said, "Show me your receipt." That man said, "Here's your receipt. Get some of this good night." I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a horrible person, and I know and I accept that. Okay. But y'all couldn't, if y'all were that afraid of this man in a wheelchair with a knife, y'all couldn't tase him. Y'all couldn't push him over. You know what I'm saying? BR say he could have stuck his baton between the wheel. Something. Girl, the man is 61. He's elderly. Okay, a 61-year-old man in a wheelchair, a motorized wheelchair, with a knife. Hey, Tanya. And y'all felt that threatened that y'all had to shoot the man from behind 9 times. 9 times. 9 times. They shot the man in the back 9 times. Nine times. Like I told y'all, that goes back to Ohio when we had the situation where they drugged the man out the car. That was in Ohio, I believe. I remember it was in Ohio. Like, come on now. Make it make sense. I think the officer Remington guy just had a point to prove, because once the second officer got there, once you radioed it in and the second officer got there, don't you think that was the time for you to stand down? But you're gonna shoot this man in the back 9 times who's in a freaking wheelchair. I have not seen the video. I have not seen the video. Um, there is video. Um, I have access to the video. I have not seen it because I've gotten to the point where you've seen these things enough to where you don't have to see it to know how this goes, or I'm looking at the video now. It is a motorized wheelchair. They are walking behind this man. Um, I'm looking at the video now. Oh boy, why am I watching this? Dear God, it's one of the motorized wheelchairs. It looks like a white man. I don't think it's a black man. It does look like it's a white man. If he is black, he's very, very light skinned, but he appears to be. It appears to be a white man to me. I could be wrong. Anyway, um, that's what we got going on. No, the cop who shot him was the first cop on the scene. The second cop who rolled up in there is not the one who shot him. It's the first cop that was working off duty detail down to the Walmart that shot him. Anyway, that's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. What am I eating? I went classic today. Sour cream and onion. You know what I miss that I used to love as a child? Not the sour cream and onion. Remember the Wise? Wise used to have onion and garlic chips. Remember the old school, like if you old school, you know Wise potato chips. Anyway, Wise potato chip used to make onion and garlic. It used to be so good. I used to love onion and garlic by Wise. Anyway. Mm. Also, a little bit about chips. This is for my people who stay um north of Florida. I did not know what Utz UTZ chips was. I want to say until I was an adult. I think I was in college the first time I had some Utz potato chips, UTZ, because they don't have them in South Florida. They don't have them. Even like when I would go out of town, I mean, maybe I saw them and I just didn't pay attention to it. But I know the first time I ever ate some Utz potato chips was I was an adult because they just didn't have them in my part of Florida. I don't even remember seeing them in Tallahassee when I was in Tallahassee back in the day. But now they have it in Florida now, and they don't even have all of them. They have a few different um flavors. I know they have the crab flavor in Florida now, but we ain't have those in Florida for a long time. All right, that's our first case. Now, if we are starting off with that, ladies and gentlemen, that should give you some clue as to where we're going today. That's where we're going today. So now, now that I know that he's white, here's my last commentary on that. This is going to come out harsh. Y'all see, I done picked up a whole glass of wine because y'all done drove me to drink this early in the morning. I just want to say this for the record. Now that I know that it's a white man, maybe this will show the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains that there should be some police reform done. Because now they shooting y'all to death. And I'm not saying that they haven't been doing it. That police haven't been shooting white people either. But what I'm saying is y'all are on y'all white supremacy flex right now. And now that y'all want to flex y'all white supremacy, the officers say, oh, that's what you want to do? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, get some. Now, here's my question. I can't see in the video that I watched, I can't see if the police officer is white or black. I'm going to assume that he's white because had that been a black police officer, it would have been a whole lot more. But all right, I'm still on my white cranberry strawberry trip. All right, so last week we talked about Lauren Boebert and all she had going on with our girl, a member of the squad, Ilhan Omar. So I told y'all these are dog whistles when Lauren Boebert and all of these other people start to say certain things about certain people. They become dog whistles and calling cries, for the racist white supremacists. So apparently somebody, one of these terrorists has, because they've been doing it for quite some time, but Ilhan Omar had a press conference the other day, and on Tuesday, and she talked about, she played a voicemail that is, she says, I get a lot of these voicemails, but they have ramped up since Lauren Boebert and all of her Islamophobia that she was spreading across the fruited plains. So let me read you what was said on this good voicemail. Here's what the voicemail said, quote, "We see you, Muslim sand N-word bitch." That's the first thing you hear. We see you, Muslim sand N-word bitch. We know what you're up to. You're all about taking over our country. Don't worry. There's plenty that will love the opportunity to take you off the face of the fucking earth. Come get it. But you fucking Muslim piece of shit, you jihadist, We know what you are. You're a fucking traitor. You will not live much longer. That was the voicemail. That's what we have going on. That's what we got going on. And you have the GOP over there that is condoning, and at this point, I'm going to say it, encouraging members of the House and Senate to spew all types of venom and vitriol. Just take gas cans and just throw gas everywhere and just light a match. Just go out across the fruited plains with your gas cans and just light up and, just let it all go up in flames. That's what they're doing basically at this point. And Lauren Boebert and her raggedy ass, quote unquote, apology, continued gaslighting. Because even now, when these people apologize, they apologize in a manner that basically says to the people that they're talking to, hey, continue to push this agenda or narrative, or continue to attack this person, even though I'm doing what is supposed to be correct for me to do, which is to apologize. But it's double-edged in the apology. It's double-edged. And so they come out looking like, oh, well, I apologize. I did what I was supposed to do. But on this, at the same tip, they've also, set the dog whistle to all of the crazies out there to do all of their, listen, to do all of their dirty work. Let's be clear. So Ilhan Omar spoke very candidly on the press conference. She talked about even when she was running for Congress, and oftentimes she'd go places and people would tell her she had to take off her hijab and stuff like that. And one of the things I remember, I highlighted this section of the article, is I remember watching it, and they had what she said, her quote, what she said. She said, "I will close with this. It was never an option for me to take off my hijab to run, because I know that when we proudly stand up for our values, when we celebrate the diversity of this country and the freedoms enshrined in our Constitution, others stand with us." And I got to shout out Ilhan Omar, because her and other members of the squad, they speak and they continue to stand and speak out loud and say, you know what, if y'all don't like it, well, screw you. Screw you. Screw you. Because they're out here standing for the people. They're out here fighting for the people. They are out here literally putting their lives on the line. And I'm not saying that in jest. I'm not saying that to be hyperbolic. I'm saying that for real. Because let's be clear, the white supremacists around the fruited plains would love the opportunity to take out Ilhan Omar if they could. They would love that opportunity. You see the voicemails that she's getting. It's crazy. But this is what we have going on. These are elected officials in these yet to be United States of America. This is what y'all got going on. I don't know how this became a partisan issue. I don't understand, and I don't know how we have gotten to, well, I shouldn't say I don't know how, but I should just say we're here at this point in America and in American politics, where you basically have members of Congress damn near committing hate crimes on the floor of Congress, saying racist and Islamophobic things and misogynistic things and xenophobic things and all kinds of horrible things are being said on the floor of Congress and condoned and endorsed. Like, why aren't they moving this? Because they moved to censor Gosser. Why are they not moving to censor the Boberts of the world? And then we're just going to go down this road. See, this is my problem with the Dems, because I'm about to go in on the Dems in just a few moments. Here's my problem with the Dems. The GOP has told you they don't give a rat's ass about you. They don't care about y'all. They're not trying to negotiate with y'all. They don't care to come to the table in good faith. They don't want any parts of y'all. They want no parts of your agenda. So if y'all gonna feel like that, well, let's do it. If y'all want to smoke, let's do it. I'll be done censor half of the House of Representatives will be on censure right now. And I will be having articles at least put on the floor to expel some people. Because the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene still has a seat in the United States House of Representatives is unconscionable. The fact that Matt Gaetz still has a seat in the United States House of Representatives is unconscionable. The fact that, and I can go through a list of about 20 people over there, are still voting to enact laws in this country when we see what they think, when we see their whole ideology. But they want to make this a partisan situation. That is really not a partisan situation. It's a human situation. But y'all still letting Lauren Boebert gallivant around Washington, D.C. and around the country like she's Queen Elizabeth, like she's our, American princess, like she's that girl that we need to celebrate. A mess. A mess. A mess. Next story. So I saw this story. When was it? Yesterday or was it Tuesday? My days are running together, y'all. My days are running together. I think it was yesterday I saw it. So my girl, your girl, our beautiful Black queen, Simone Sanders, has decided to leave the White House. Well, not the White House. I mean, she works at the Naval Conservatory, but she works for Kamala Harris as a part of her press team. Don't make me remember her exact title, but Simone Sanders, I know she's one of the senior advisors to Kamala Harris, and if you remember, her and Corinne Jean-Pierre, or as we say in Miami, Karine Jean-Pierre, they were our two beautiful Black queens that were on the Biden and Harris campaign, and they would often put them out on camera to speak for the campaign team and so forth, and so that garnered them positions, in the administration. We know that Corinne is the deputy press secretary, and we know that I know Simone Sanders, she's a part of she's one of Kamala Harris's senior advisors, but I know she's a part of the press team as well. Anyway, so let me read this article. It says Simone Sanders, senior advisor and chief spokesperson for Vice President Kamala Harris, is leaving the Biden administration at the end of the year. A White House official confirmed to The Hill on Tuesday. This article comes from The Hill. Sanders has served alongside President Biden for 3 years, starting as a member of the 2020 presidential campaign before moving to the transition team and then later becoming deputy assistant to the president and senior advisor and chief spokesperson to the vice president. Simone has served honorably for 3 years, a White House official told The Hill, adding that Biden and Harris are grateful for Simone's service and advocacy, and she will be missed. The official called Sanders, quote, a valued member of the White House and a team player. Sanders, in a note to staff Wednesday night, said she is so grateful to the vice president for her vote of confidence from the very beginning and the opportunity to see what can be unburdened by what has been, according to Politico. Quote, I'm grateful for Harris, I'm grateful for Harris's chief of staff, Tina Flournoy, and her leadership and her confidence as well. Every day I arrived to the White House complex knowing our work made a tangible difference for Americans. I am immensely grateful, and I will miss working for her and with all of you, she added. Sanders is the second senior member of Harris's communication team to announce their departure from the White House in recent weeks. The vice president's communications director, Ashley Etienne, is leaving her post in December to pursue other opportunities, a White House official said. The move comes after CNN has reported last month on frustrations amongst the vice president's team and more broadly the White House officials about the role Harris is playing in the administration. West Wing aides, however, were quick to come to the vice president's defense, publicly calling Harris an essential part of the administration. Sanders, in a statement on Twitter, pointed to Harris's trip to France and the passage of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, writing that unfortunately some members of the media were focused on gossip, not on the results of the president and vice president that the president and vice president have delivered. Excuse me, have delivered. Told y'all my throat is dry. Oh, I'm not done either. John. Sorry, y'all. The top Harris aide made headlines in May when Bakari Sellers, a civil rights attorney, that's my boy Bakari Sellers, I love me some Bakari Sellers, and friend of Sanders, told the Washington Post that Sanders was, quote, hurt after being passed over for the job of White House press secretary, which ultimately went to Jen Psaki. Sellers said Sanders was stung that Biden passed over her for Psaki, who served as communications director during the Obama administration, adding she was definitely hopeful that she would have that opportunity. Sanders wrote in her memoir that she had hoped to be named White House press secretary, which would have made her the first Black woman to serve in the role. In May, however, after Psaki suggested plans to step down from the role of press secretary next year, Sanders told the Post that she was, quote, happy where I am and with what I'm doing. And it goes, that's pretty much the whole article. Now, I think we talked about this a little bit at that time when the before Biden got inaugurated and as positions were beginning to be filled. I think I remember, and those of y'all, some of y'all are better at remembering what I said than I am, but I think I remember when Jen Psaki was named press secretary, and I said, what about Simone Sanders? What about Corinne Jean-Pierre? Because those two women were the ones who Biden put out there and Harris will put out there all of the time to speak to the press. They were used to handling tough questions and being able to pivot and spin and all of that stuff. And Jen Psaki was nowhere to goddamn be found. And then when the time came to give these positions, they didn't want to give the Black women nothing. They gave it to a white woman, Jen Psaki. And I think I remember talking about that. If y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I think we talked about that here. But here's the thing. I think what's happening is because that other member of the Harris staff that they say that quit as well is black as well. Yeah, I told y'all, as all of these things started to happen, because all of this is going to segue into a real good story that I got coming up for y'all. As all of these things started to happen, and you start to see how this administration treats black people after what black people have done for them, you have to start to look in the mirror and say, is it worth it? And if you know anything about Simone Sanders, Simone Sanders is not just a, oh, I'm gonna just go along to get along. I'm gonna just fall in line and it's just gonna happen. Simone Sanders is someone who stands on principle. Simone Sanders is someone who says, nope, I don't like that, and I'm gonna let you know I don't like that. I'm gonna call it like it is. She's one of them let your yay be yay and your nay be nay type people. You know, as we call it back where I'm from, she's from the soil. You know, when somebody be like, nah, they from the soil, that means, yeah, they keep it real. So now, in addition to that, I found out earlier this morning when I was looking up this story, 2 more Kamala Harris press aides are leaving in addition to Simone Sanders. See, it's getting real over there. So this is according to the Hill as well. 2 more press aides working in Vice President Harris's office are expected to leave their roles in the coming weeks, in addition to two high-profile exits of her press secretary, her press secretary and communications director. A source familiar with the departures confirmed to the Hill. Peter Vales, who is the vice president's director of press operations, and Vince Evans, the deputy director of the Office of Public Engagement and Intergovernmental Affairs for Harris, are planning to leave their positions soon, the source confirmed. The Washington Post first reported on their impending exits. The departure of Vales and Evans, who are expected to take new jobs in or close to the Biden administration, comes on the heels of news that Simone Sanders, Harris's press secretary, will leave the administration. Officials suggested Sanders had long planned to leave at the end of 2021. That's the spin. Now they said, oh, she been planned to leave at the end of 2021. She probably said, I'm going to give y'all a year after y'all tried her and didn't give her that press secretary, because like they said, she wanted press secretary. And when they didn't give that to her, they said, we'll give y'all this. She said, you know what? I'm going to give y'all a year. That's probably why she said, listen, y'all got a good year. After that, I'm chucking up the deuces and getting out of here. And she might be getting out at the right time, because as you can see, there's an impending bloodbath that's about to happen in 2022 that she might say, yeah, I don't want no parts of that. I don't blame her. Anyway, Sanders is the highest profile exit to date from the vice president's office, which has been beset by reports of dysfunction and frustration about her role in the administration. Sanders was the most visible voice in pushing back on those reports, and she has been a prominent surrogate for Democrats dating back to the 2020 presidential campaign, when she worked for the then candidate Joe Biden. Harris's communication director, Ashley Etienne, who will also be leaving her White House role this month. Etienne previously served as communications director for Speaker Nancy Pelosi and worked in the Obama administration before that. So now, I'm sure Simone, I see your comments, Tabitha. Tabitha said that they are pushing the narrative that Simone is going to help Stacey Abrams and her campaign. They are going to push that, because that, for the Dems, that makes it seem, oh yeah, the blacks are going to go help the blacks. That's exactly how they're wording it. The blacks are going to go help the blacks. It's some stuff going on over there in that at the Naval Conservatory. There's some stuff going on over there in the White House and in the Naval Conservatory. I'm just telling you what I know. Just telling you what I know. Listen, something is happening, but I don't blame Simone. Child, Simone, go ahead, honey. Go ahead and help out. Help Kamala. Not Kamala, dear God. Help Stacy. But they didn't do. See, the problem is they did not do right by Simone Sanders from the beginning. They didn't do right by her from the beginning. Now Corinne is gonna stay because Corinne knows that when Jen Psaki exits, she's probably gonna end up being there. The problem with that is, Corinne, by the time you get there, is it going to be a dumpster fire? Are you going to have stayed around so long that it becomes a dumpster fire? Because I'm telling you, Jen Psaki is probably going to exit right around a year from now, right after the bloodbath that's coming next November. See, next November is going to be a bloodbath for the goddamn Dems. And that's when white ass Jen Psaki is going to depart and say, "Oh, I'm out of here. No, I told y'all I was going to only give y'all 2 years, so I'm out of here. I'm gone." And then they're going to put Corinne in there where it's going to be a whole ass shit show and a fucking dumpster fire. And now she's going to have to navigate a fuck show, a whole ass shit show. Right. Jen Psaki got it real easy right now. Oh, she's living, the easy life. She's not going to get, but baby, come next November and December, she going to be getting the hell out of Dodge. She's going to be getting the hell out of Dodge. And she's going to have to sit and live through. And Corinne Jean-Pierre is going to get, they're going to promote Corinne Jean-Pierre to press secretary. Then they're going to tout, "Oh, see, we look out for black people." Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I could already see the spin out. They're not going to wait that long. It's going to be to get the black vote. So they're going to promote, I can see the writings on the wall now. They're going to promote, Jen Psaki is going to retire around September, October, right before election. Then they're going to promote Corinne Jean-Pierre and say, "See, we are here for black women and black people, and we need the black people to go out and vote." Because you see how we just promoted Corinne Jean-Pierre to press secretary, the first black woman ever. And that's how that's going. I can see it now. I can see it now. Yeah, a mess. A mess. A mess. I'm telling you, it's some stuff going on at the Harris within the that team down there for Kamala Harris. It's some stuff going on over there. It is some stuff going. There's been rumblings about it for a long time, and when you start to see departure, that means that there's some truth to that. Now I'm gonna tell you what they do. What happens is when you start to see several departures like this, you'll start to see them offer people higher positions then and say, "Well, how about, I think I can get you this position that's a little higher," to kind of appease the people. Don't give them exactly the position that they want, but they'll give them a higher position still in another area to shut them up. There's something rotten in the state of Denmark. There is something rotten in the state of Denmark. But I tell y'all all the time, they don't care about. Listen, I told y'all I was gonna segue right now, and I know this from my sources because I do have a couple sources myself, that both Corinne and Simone Sanders were very disgusted by the administration and how they approached the situation. Right, Tabitha. At this point, I'm here to see the carnage, the bloodbath that's about to take place, just so they can understand that they're not doing right by black people. But that's a whole other story. But my sources have told me that Corinne and Simone were very upset with the administration and how they handled the Haitians at the border situation. And I've been monitoring, I haven't really come to you all with it, but I have been monitoring the situation at the border, and the situation at with immigration and at the border is still as bad during the Biden administration as it was during the Trump administration. It ain't got no better. Ain't got no better. If anything, it might have gotten worse. If anything, it may have gotten worse. Let's be clear. My problem with the administration, yeah, Corinne is Haitian. She's Haitian. She is Haitian. Anytime you see a name like Jean Pierre, that's Haitian. That ain't French. No, that's Haitian. You listen, Tabitha can tell you, Tabitha from Miami, like me. We know Haitian when we see Haitian. See, she's gonna go on the news cameras and say Corinne Jean Pierre. When you go to Miami, that Corinne Jean Pierre becomes Corinne Jean Pierre. We know is Haitian. We know. We know. Listen, Tabitha tell the people. We know she Haitian. Anyway, um, the problem that we have going on right now with this immigration situation is, oh, you Haitian too? So Jeff, I did not know that. I did not know that. You know, there's a lot of Haitians in New York, so that makes sense. You know, Canada, New York, Miami, a lot of Haitians there. A lot of Haitians in those three places. Anyway, also, Jeff, you should know there's a huge Haitian population developing in the Dallas area. I got a couple friends that stay over there. They're Haitian, but they told me, I mean, they're from Miami, like me, but all of them have told me, they said the Haitian population in Dallas is really growing. Matter of fact, they got a few Haitian spots that sell Haitian food now in Dallas now, that their population is growing. So I was like, oh, okay. So um, the president, our current president, we see that he don't want no parts of immigrants unless it helps his political capital. So you want to take in Afghans, and we've heard rumblings of them offering, um we've heard, out of control numbers, like, oh, we're going to give them several $100,000 for each immigrant that comes over. But the only reason you're taking in immigrants from the Afghan immigrants is because of the debacle that we had that went on over there in Afghanistan, and you feel like that gains you political capital by allowing them in. They want no parts of the immigrants south of our borders. They'll take any immigrant that comes. See, if you come from the northern border, the northern border, there might as well not even be a border there. That's just open. It's just wide ass open on the northern border. On the Canadian border, it's wide ass open. You come in, hey, how you doing? Have a good time. Free, just as free and open as a whore down to a brothel. Just as free and open. Southern border though, oh, they want to build walls. They want to do everything to keep people out there. Why? Because when you start to go south, then you start to see people with more melanin. And Joe Biden is just as much on the white supremacy and white privilege tip as some of the others. Let's just be very clear. So we got a couple things going on. Title 42 is is something that was enacted under the Trump administration. And in Title 42, it allowed them to say, we're not going to allow any immigrants to come in right now because of COVID. And so we're not going to allow any immigrants to come in and keep all immigrants out. Only south of the border. That's the only place they were doing it was south of the border now. Let's be clear. On the southern border, I should say. Biden, even though scientifically they said, yeah, that's not how this works, and that is that's an archaic rule, and don't try to put that on COVID. They said that under the Trump administration, they've maintained that under the Biden administration, but Biden hasn't sought to remove that. He don't give a shit about removing it. He wants to keep it in place, and he has. We had the whole debacle that happened at the southern border with the Haitians. You know what Biden did? Biden, instead of doing what they can to work out the immigration situation, do what they said they were going to do. Now, let me help you out. And I got some notes here. Oh, dear God, my eyes, my eyes, my eyes. All right. Now, dear God. So, the Biden administration had a plan of action that they were going to do, and it was called the Migrant Protection Protocol. And in the Migrant Protection Protocol, what was supposed to happen is they would, and they wouldn't just allow them in the country. They would keep them in Mexico. They would keep them in this, in a certain place in northern Mexico, and they would be in this at a place where they could give them a number, and each one of the migrants would get a number, and every day they would have, when your number is called, you would go to seek asylum and go through the process of trying to become a migrant or immigrant into the United States. And this is where they would be, their information would be taken. They would be get a number. And when I was reading it, it sounded like they were almost talking about animals or cattle, because they were like, oh, and they will be metered and stuff like that, as if they were putting tags on them like they do animals and stuff like that. But anyway, that was supposed to happen, and then that would allow immigrants the opportunity to, because they would already have their information, and that would give them the opportunity to come over and go through the whole formal process and go through that to help the process, right? And that was called the Migrant Protection, Protocol, and it was supposed to be something to help protect migrants from the situations that we had going on down to the border. So they decided, yeah, we don't want no parts of that no more. So they're going to get rid of that plan on November. Well, they already did on November 1st. They got rid of it under the cloak of darkness. And so now they're back to just Title 42 and just not allowing anybody to come in at this point. Matter of fact, they have spent $15 million to send the Haitians back to Haiti. They've spent over $15 million to send the Haitians back to Haiti. $15 million. Now, I was looking and researching. Some studies have shown that it would cost a fraction of that to just keep the people here. In addition to that, you got not just the Haitians, you have Mexican migrants, you have migrants coming from Central and South America and from other parts of the Caribbean. The problem with the US's policies on immigrants coming from the southern part of this hemisphere is the United States is directly responsible for a lot of the situations going on in these countries. The United States, over decades, politically, has been involved with every government south of our border. Let's be clear. They have had influence over there. They have controlled which regimes would take power. They have given money to certain administrations and regimes. They have given political, not political, but military arsenal to certain countries. They've given capital. They've given all types of things to put certain regimes and to put certain people in place in these countries that have caused the demise of these countries, governments and dictators and heads of states that have caused endless numbers of atrocities to happen south of our border in Central America, South America, and the Caribbean. We have done that. And so, because we are so directly responsible for a lot of stuff that has happened, even if you think about Haiti, think about what America and its dealing with Papa Doc was, and that whole debacle over there. We did that. And so, because of our responsibility, one would think that we as a country would do the right thing. I don't know why we would think America would. I guess I should say we would think that America would do the right thing by anybody, because America ain't even doing the right thing by the people that live here, and that would be us black people. But we got America that is doing all of these horrible things to cause horrible things to happen. And when these people end up having to fight for survival and fight for their lives and the lives of their children and families and try to exit and try to make a life for themselves and their families, and they come over here, they're told, "Nah, we ain't having no parts of you. We ain't having no parts of that. Y'all stay the fuck out, and we don't want no parts of that. Stay over there in Mexico." Because you think about it, this whole migrant protection plan, couldn't they have done that on our side? Could they have gotten facilities on our side and said, "Hey, I'm going to keep y'all over here on our side, and then we'll, start the process." But no, they wanted to keep them over on the Mexico side. Why? Because it's easier when you say we ain't doing that no more for you to just kick them all out, and you say, "Oh well, that's not our problem no more." Y'all know it's a whole lot of violence and stuff going on over there in Mexico. Here are some numbers for you. Since the Biden administration took office, at least 7,647 kidnappings or attacks on people expelled under Title 42 have been identified. So here's what happens. When people have come over and the government has said, "Okay, we're under Title 42 right now. You can't come over here," going back over there to Mexico. Um, there have been, these are numbers from people who we know have been sent back from Title 42. There's a countless scores of people who we don't know about. But these are the ones that we know about. So, like I said, there's been 7,647 kidnappings or attacks on people expelled under Title 42. Since September, 8,000 Haitians have been expelled, despite Haitians in the U.S. being eligible for temporary protected status. 8,000 Hondurans and 6,000 Guatemalans, many of them Mayan, have been expelled without allowed asylum claims. Despite the claim of not turning away families, 29,000 children, 9,000 of them under 5, and 600 infants have been expelled. And that is under this administration. There is both federal law and international law that protects and gives way for these people to come and gain asylum and be allowed the opportunity for immigration into these yet to be United States of America. But the Biden administration don't want no parts of that because they're trying to keep their white supremacy. And the last thing they want is for more minorities to come in this country that would further help whites lose their majority in these yet to be United States of America. Yeah, Biden don't want no parts of that. So even though these people don't want immigrants, it's illegal technically for them not to allow the immigrants to come. What they're doing is illegal, but I could go on and on. I'm not going to belabor the issue, but the point that I'm making is that this administration has a problem. We need to solve it. And even though we have mainstream media that's not going to talk about this, we definitely have to continue to speak out on these things. A lot of the Haitians, a lot of the other Caribbean, and a lot of our Latinx community south of the border look just as black as me and you. Because let's be clear, all Latinx people are not white presenting. Many of them are just as dark and just as melanated as you and I. And then America wants no parts of them. And like I said, they spent $15 million on deportation flights alone to Haiti. Only, and we're just talking about to little Haiti. We're not even adding up that they sending people back to Brazil and Chile and Honduras and just spending millions upon millions of dollars to send these people over, of our taxpayer dollars to send these people back, when they could be doing the right thing by these people and spend less money. But it's the fear of them losing their white supremacy. I got to call it like I see it. I got to call it like I see it. I got to call it like I see it. But when it was politically, um, when it helped his helped him in terms of how he looked politically, he let thousands of Afghans come over freely, and now they're talking about giving all of these people money. Y'all want to give Afghans money for coming over? Y'all can't even give us black people our reparations y'all owe us. But y'all got $15 million to send people on flights back. Come on now, make it make sense. I don't know. That's what y'all got going on in the Biden administration. All right. I'm gonna do my last two stories. We're gonna end good. All right. I had a couple more stories, but I'm gonna forego those stories, and I'm gonna end on this. Two good stories. Hey, Jay Parrish. All right. So two good stories out of Georgia. First, Andre Dickens won. I saw a funny meme. I saw a funny meme on social media yesterday. Said Atlanta said out with the bottoms, out with bottoms, and in with Dickens. I said, you know what? I laughed so hard. I said that really out with bottoms, in with Dickens. That's what Atlanta said. I said, you know what? Oh God. Hey, Diamond Days. Anyway, Andre Dickens is a member of my great fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, the greatest fraternity in all the land. So nice. We named it twice, all of that good stuff. Um, and so we'll see what he does, but he won that election. Also Stacey Abrams did like she act like she was releasing. You know how you have artists that in the middle of the night they'll release their album and put it out there, people lose their minds. So like last night, like late last night, I saw it. She put out, I'm running for governor, and people started to lose their mind. I was like, oh, it's out, and um, Twitter was, you know, ablaze with news of Stacey and her. We know that Stacey ran for governor before um, of Georgia, and because of things in place, was not allowed to take her rightful place. Now, um, I'm concerned. I'm very happy for Stacey. I want her to win. I am we're rooting for her. We're going to make sure that, well, I'm not worried. Stacey has a whole engine behind her, a grassroots engine and effort like no other. They know how to beat the streets and knock on doors and do those types of things. The problem that I have, or the concern that I have, um, well, yeah, you're right about that, Tabitha. You're right about that. You were so right about that. But the problem that I have with this gubernatorial race is Georgia has passed a lot of voter suppression laws and election laws now that make it where the voice of the people will not prevail. Like they have made it where in state in Georgia's passed laws where um county election officials are not even authorized to even certify elections anymore. And even if certain elections go a certain way, there are provisos and things put in place in election law in Georgia, Texas, and dozens of other states now, where it can be left to the state legislature. And we know the Georgia state legislature is staunchly and heavily Republican. And we know that means that they can take the decision out of the hands of the electorate and put it in the hands of the legislature to just make the determination on the winner of elections, to include gubernatorial and presidential. A mess. So, um, let's see what's going to have to happen is with these elections now in states like Georgia and Texas and a lot of other states, it's going to have to be overwhelming. That's what's going to have to end up happening. It's going to have to be where it's an overwhelming win. It can't be we win by the hair of our chinny chin chin, because they've already set it up. If it's a hair of our chinny chin chin, all right, Diamond Onyx. Um, if it's by the hair of our chinny chin chins, they're gonna find a way to take that away. They're gonna find a way to take that away. And so I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I'm also concerned that the Dems, um, the Dems have sullied the environment so much that a lot of people who were galvanized and excited about voting in 2020 are looking at politics and looking at what people got going on, the Dems who they put in place, and they're like, I ain't doing that. And so that stands to hurt um stands to hurt those numbers because the Dems have sullied um and imbrued the electorate and the atmosphere. So, but I'm excited for Stacey. I want Stacey in there. We want Stacey in there. So, I know Stacey is going to have feet on the ground and do all of the things that she's known to do. And it'll so, but like I said, I know it's going to have to be an overwhelming victory. It's going to have to be a you know very clear and cut. Yep, she won. Because if it's close, they've already put measures in place. They have already put measures in place. So um yeah. So those are our two good news. Shout out to my frat brother who's the new mayor of Atlanta, and shout out to Stacey who announced her. I mean, we even said that on this channel that Stacey's gonna run again. She haven't announced yet, but she running for governor again. That was already, we knew that was the worst kept secret in America, that she was gonna run for governor again. That's why she wouldn't take anything in Biden's administration. Biden tried to get her on the administration. She was like, "Nah, I want that," because she was always planning on running for governor again. It was just a matter of time. Uh, So, and there's a lot to do, a lot of work to do. Anyway, um, Tabitha, I'm going to give you this story. I was going to report on it, but I'm just going to give it to you. I'll let you do it on your platform. Author Alice Sebold, and you may know her for the book that she wrote called Lucky. Anyway, she accused a young man of rape, and he was convicted falsely for 16 years, and she issued an apology because it wasn't him. But people are now saying, now wait a minute, you don't earn you know a whole lot of money because this the rape was inside of the book, and y'all put this young man away for 16 years of his life, and now y'all apologizing. Oh, it wasn't him. Oh, my bad. I apologize. Run me some of that change, because I done lost millions of dollars that I could have been making in my own life. Who knows what I could have been had I been allowed to, live my life. And so people are saying, yeah, run him those coins. You owe him part of your coins over there. I am inclined to say, I mean, he was denied 5 times parole. He was in prison 16 years. He applied for parole 5 times and was denied 5 times. His name is Anthony Broadwater. Anthony Broadwater, Broadwater. I'm going to give that to you, Tabitha. Um, yeah, she said when she was at Syracuse, she was raped as a freshman, and that was the guy who did it, and he was arrested and sent to prison and stuff like that. So I was going to talk about that today, but I've spiked out enough. We don't have enough sugar spikes for today. So, oh man, yeah. Anyway, anything else for the good of the cause before I get out of here? Before I get out of here. If not, y'all know how we do. Let's put some shondos in the chat before we get out. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged and much appreciated. We are here for y'all. I'm sorry I haven't been in this live as much as I would like to be, but my life is so not mine anymore. It's so just hectic. I just have so much going on. I'll be with you all as much as I can, but it's so hard. I have so much. And then when I do have a little bit of free time, I have to make the decision. Do I take some time to rest and sleep and get some rest, or do I come and um, come live or something like that? So we'll see. Anyway, until next time, that's all I got. My Vlogmas video is up. Y'all can go check that out. Um, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.